Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live Stream webinar. Today we're talking Stream Studio. Stream Studio. We do live to social or we do Stream Studio. Today we're doing Stream Studio. And it might be a little bit counterintuitive because what you're seeing on your screen is a phone, a mobile device. You're seeing portrait mode. And that is because I brought it to the attention of my superiors that we needed to talk portrait mode because portrait mode is available on Stream Studio. And I don't think many people know it. At least not a lot of people are using it. And you should be because it's a great tool. Most of the content that people view these days is going to be in portrait mode. It's going to be on TikTok. It's going to be on Instagram Reels. And people spend a lot of time recording content, filming content in landscape mode in 1080 by 1920, 1920 by 1080. And then, trying to fit it and squish it and zoom it and do all of this stuff to make it into a portrait mode setting. Well, you have a tool with Stream Studio where you can do all of these things in real time. And the whole name of the game with these tools, these content creation tools, Stream Studio, Live to Social, is making content quickly and easier, right? So making more content faster, better, with more effects, and doing it easier, saving you that editing process. That's what we want to do, right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about these two things. Now, I'm monitoring the stream because we do have somebody who just commented who's excited to see all of our new features, and thank you for being with us, VoiceOver Radio TV. Yes, we do have a lot of new features. Maybe the one that you can see right now is this RTMP button, which we've added to the screen. Some people were saying that they were having issues with the RTMP. They didn't know how to set it up. They didn't know how to do it. Well, guess what? We now have it down here, so it's easy for you to click on. And what does RTMP mean? Well, it means you can send this feed to your website, which is kind of cool. You can send the feed to your website. Thank you, Mark. And then you're able to, whatever content you're making, send it directly to your website. Now, Mark, I can't see the YouTube Live because when I switch over, it shows my screen. So could you monitor the YouTube Live and let me know if we have any questions?
I got you.
Thank you, because usually I have a computer next to me, but we don't have it right now. I was at IKEA last night, and I was looking to buy something, and I found exactly what I wanted to buy. It was $200, and I was like, oh, that's a lot of money and everything. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to buy that. So I decided that what I was going to do is I was just going to do it. I was just going to spend the money, because when you want to have something nice, you're just like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. So I go downstairs, I find the aisle, I put it on my cart, I start carrying it away, and I say, hey, I'm going to go look at the section where they have this stuff that's been returned, because sometimes they have good deals there. So I go and I look, and guess what? I find exactly what I was going to buy for 40% off. I ended up saving $80 just like that, right? Just by going to that section and looking for the stuff that had been returned. And the thing was perfectly in perfect condition. In fact, it had already been built for me by the previous guy or woman, whoever bought it. And it was all built for me, and it was $80 off. And I was so excited when I saw it and when I bought it. And why am I telling this story? Because that's a lot like Stream Studio. That's a lot like Stream Studio, because there are a lot of people that are using tools like StreamYard, and they're paying, $40, $50 a month so that they can have conversations with people remotely live. And it's like, hey man, you have this tool, Stream Studio, which is a one-time payment of $60, and you have a lifetime guarantee. And look, we're adding new features to it every day. And you can record in portrait mode, and you can do all of these things. So this is what the equivalent is, right? The piece of furniture that I brought home was just as good, if not better. It had already been built. It saved me the time. It saved me the money. I was so excited when I saw it. And that's how you should feel when you find Stream Studio on AppSumo. You should say to yourself, holy moly, look at this. I get a great deal. And we don't know how long it's going to be on AppSumo for. Now, I keep saying that. And you guys are probably going to be like, this guy, this car salesman here, he's been telling us that Stream Studio is going to come off AppSumo and we need to hurry up and buy it. Well, to be honest with you, we were told that it was going to come off any day now, but it continues to sell. It continues to perform really well. It's getting good ratings. I think it's got like a 4.5 tacos on AppSumo, so it's doing really well. People are liking the product. It's selling, and so we just can't bring ourselves to take it off when it's doing so well. I guess we're waiting for a dip in the numbers, which hasn't come yet. But when that dip comes, it is going to come off AppSumo. We are past the time that we were supposed to be on. We were told by this is how it works when you go to AppSumo. You have all these people who work there, and you discuss with them as the creator of your product, and you discuss the marketing for it and how you're going to present it and making the video and all this stuff. And I'm not going to bore you guys with the details of how it works, but that is how it works. And then they sort of come and see you, and they tell you how the product is doing and how it's selling. And they came and saw us, and they said, we're going to take it down soon. It's been on for a while. Things don't stay on AppSumo for 10 years. And we understood that. And we're like, okay. And so we thought that day was coming soon, but the product is doing really well. And the reason why it is doing well is because it's sort of a no-brainer. For $60, you can buy this product and have a lifetime deal with it. And you can do your podcast, and you can be the host of your own show. And meanwhile, people are going to be paying $20 a month for this product pretty soon when it comes off of AppSumo. So think about that. You pay upfront for 3 months, and you own it for life. That's a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Okay, today we're talking about portrait mode. I mentioned the new RTMP button that we added there. We're talking about portrait mode because, like I said, a lot of the content we're seeing today is in portrait mode. And instead of trying to edit and do things that you don't know how to do and taking time and wasting time to do it, you might as well just create in portrait mode and just go live with that, right? Go live to social media in portrait mode. And then all of those clips that you want to do afterwards, well, hey, man, guess what? They're already done. They're already in that format. We have, and I can't get into the specifics of this because, you sign NDAs and all that sort of thing, but we have certain clients that, they do podcasts and they want to clip this stuff, and they send us these files. They send us these files of that are in landscape, and they want it on TikTok, and we're trying to explain to them that you can't just put the landscape on TikTok because it'll have big black bars, and they don't really understand that, and they're like, well, okay, well, why don't you edit it? And so we're there zooming, we're trying to put more than one thing on screen and zoom in and all this stuff, and it's so much work. And what we always tell them is we introduce them to these content creation tools like Stream Studio, and we're like, hey, why don't you just film your podcast in portrait mode on Stream Studio, and you can do it live. And they're saying, well, we don't know how to do that. And when we tell them that all they have to do is open up their browser, go to Stream Studio, stream.studio, enter their email. They're going to get a code. They don't need to remember the password. They're going to click the invite button right here, create a link. They're going to send it to their guest. All their guest has to do is pull out their phone, click on the link, and bada bing, bada boom, they are live streaming a podcast. When they hear all that, they're pretty impressed. They're pretty impressed, and they're pretty surprised. And nobody thinks it's that easy, but it really is that easy. And that's the idea with these products, right? We're making it easy for you to create content. So we're going to go through a little bit of the features that you can do in portrait mode. It's a very similar to landscape mode, right? It's going to be pretty much the same thing. So not much has changed. So I want to give you guys the opportunity, if you want, while I'm doing this, to ask questions. I'm going to sort of go through this one by one. But if you guys have questions at any point, any questions at all, just shoot them in that YouTube live chat. Mark is going to read them out to me as they come in, and we'll sort of go from there. That'll be our little afternoon together. We have about a little over 20 minutes together, so let's jump into it. Okay, so portrait mode. So what I did first, let's remove this camera here, is I had my face right on screen like that, and then what I did is I went and I took a tablet, or it could be my phone. In this case, I used my tablet, and I put it up right over there, and I sent a link to it. I just opened up my email. I sent myself an email, and then I added in that camera. Next thing you know, I have a 2-camera setup. Now, this looks pretty cool. Right off the bat, this looks a lot cooler than most shows. Instead of just being my big fat face, we have me, and we have me in my studio. So again, it's already taking my production to the next level by making it a multi-camera production. I've talked a lot in the past about the importance of multi-camera productions as opposed to just boring old little old me right here. So we have this multi-camera setup. That looks great. Now, what else can we do to spice it up? Well, I can throw in my company logo there in the top right corner. Why do I do that? Well, because it's cool. It looks cool. I have my logo right there. It's transparent. It's floating over me like that. It's also cool because if people want to repurpose my content, I see a lot of really cool things that are original thoughts. Things that come out of my mouth are things that nobody's ever heard before, and they hear them and they're like, wow, that's so well put. I just want to take that and I want to tell it to people. So people will sometimes record me, they will sometimes clip my clips, and they will sometimes post them back on social media. And that's fine, you can do that. It is technically illegal, but nobody seems to really crack down on that, especially with TikTok. There's so much repurposing of material. Well, if people are going to repurpose your material, you might as well brand it. You might as well put a watermark on it, put a logo on it. Stream Studio gives you the ability to do that just by clicking on it. right? Just by clicking up there, you can add your logo. And you're going to say, well, Liam, I don't want the Stream logo on my content. I want my logo. Well, of course you do, man. Of course you do. I'm not saying you put the Stream logo. You hit this little plus button here and you can add your own logo. Just make sure you upload it as a PNG so that it looks cool and transparent like mine does. Right? That's the Live to Social logo. If you just upload it as a picture, it'll squish it down into a little box like that, which is also fine. If you don't know how to do PNG, you don't want to do all that stuff, that's fine. Just upload a picture and it'll squish it down into a little box. But if you do want to have it as a PNG, upload it like that if you want it to be transparent and so on and so forth. So that's really cool. So let's throw that Stream logo, let's leave that there for the rest of the production. Now, what else can we add? Well, we can add a lower third. Right? So who am I? So first of all, before we do a lower third, we're going to go type in the information up here. So up here we have Liam. That's me. And my description is content creator. That's my job. I'm a content creator here at Stream. So, part of these webinars is creating content. It's helping you guys, helping the users with their product, making how-to videos. That's what I do here for everybody who's wondering. So let's throw that logo in there. Liam Verbrugge, content creator. Let's do this one right here. Boom. It hits me with that logo. Now, it wants to write something on the bottom, so why don't we do this? Let's write Studio Cam. All right? So now we have a lower third. That looks pretty cool. Do we like any of the other ones more? Do we like that one? That one's hard to see, doesn't have a background. That one is too round. It's sort of like the sharp edge. Let's go with this one. Perfect. Okay, now what else can we do? Well, we can add an intro and an outro to our video, right? If the podcast is starting in 15 seconds, we can do a little intro. And maybe you're going to be like, hey, I don't really like the ones that are in Stream Studio. They look a little bit, off-brand for me. And I'll be like, hey, that's fine, man. You know what I mean? We provide these ones for you for free. You want to play with them, you want to have fun with them, go at it. They're all yours. But maybe you want to add your own. That's perfectly fine. See that little plus button there? That's where we talk about customizable. Stream Studio is completely customizable. I didn't even get into how the fact that the lower thirds are customizable. I like the blue. I like the white. And I like the font, but you can change that. Look at all of these options you have to change the font in that lower third. If your colors of your company are let's say orange and black, for example, right? We can do orange, and then the letters look kind of good white. But if we wanted to do them black, we can make them black. Let's put them back to white though. Let's do that because that kind of matches our brand here at Stream, right? Orange and white and black and sort of thing. So let's make it like that. But again, this is all customizable. The intro outro video, I can make an intro outro video. I can upload it here. Right? What is the intro? Every YouTube channel before a video, they're going to have a little intro video. So you should have one for your podcast as well. And this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about, stepping your game up. People come to me when they're interested in Stream Studio. And my first question is always, first of all, what kind of content do you make? And the person's going to say, well, I'm an online marketer. I, resell this and that. And okay, fine. What have you been using in the past? Well, I've been using Zoom, and I take Zoom and I download it and I re-upload it and all this stuff. And I'm like, after a 2-second presentation of Stream Studio, I'm like, dude, we're going to change your life with this product. Look at how better my production looks right now. I have a studio camera. I have a camera on my face. I have a logo. I have a lower third. You already are very likely to believe anything I tell you right now just because of my setup here. Right? If I start giving you medical advice, you'll probably believe me just because of the way I look right now. How could you not? If I was on Zoom in my basement and I was telling you that you had to take this pill or that pill, you would think I was a crazy guy. Well, that's because these things matter. Right? These things matter. You think about it when artists are wearing these crazy clothes and driving these crazy cars, and you're like, oh, why are they doing this? It's because they're portraying an image, right? That's their brand. That is their livelihood. And if you're going to be a content creator, your brand, your image, that's your livelihood. And when you present yourself by doing a boring Zoom, computer camera garbage, that's who you are. That's who you are. That's who you're telling the world you are. Should you listen to me? Why should you listen to me? Well, you should listen to me because I'm in my basement in my underwear on my Zoom. That's why you should listen to me. Well, guess what? That's not a very good argument. And I don't think I will listen to you. I'm going to listen to Liam. He's got a multi-camera setup, a studio, a lower third, and a logo. I like him. I'm with him. If you had money to put down, who would you put your money down on? Me. Why? Because I look better. That's how the world goes round. Don't get mad at me. So we add all these features. We add the lower third. We add the intro outro. Make a custom intro outro. Spend a couple minutes making one. You can actually go. There's a lot of websites right now Maybe you're saying, Liam, I don't know how to make an intro outro. Liam, I don't know how to make a logo. Liam, I don't know how to make a background. Go on Canva. Literally for free. You can go on a website called Canva. You can make intro videos. You can plug in pictures and it'll animate them. It'll have them move around. You can put text. It'll have the text move around. So you have all of these tools that are available. We had a guy, we were at an event the other day showcasing this product, and people are coming up to us and they're saying, oh my God, what you guys are doing is, it's never been done before. And it's true, we're ahead of the game with these people. But we had a guy come up to us and he's like, wow, he's looking at the product. Mark and I are showing it to him. And he's saying, wow, there's literally no excuse anymore. And I said, what do you mean by that? And he's like, look at how easy it is to create content these days. You can literally pull out your phone, go on Stream.studio, and make a production that, 5-10 years ago would have costed thousands of dollars. There's literally no excuse anymore not to be making good quality content. And that is true. That is true. You have to understand, once you download Stream Studio, you will have the weight of the world on your shoulders because it'll all be in your hands to become a star. It will no longer be because you're missing technology. Yes, Mark?
VoiceOver Radio TV is asking, what did I miss? Have you already spoke about the new add-ons or new features?
So we talked about the RTMP feature. The RTMP feature that we added here in the buttons, if you want to add content to your own website. Our big drop is coming Q1 2023, which is going to be January 1st. So that's when the big drop comes. I think we had a drop this morning, December 15th. Am I correct about that? Or was it 14th? So I think we added the RTMP feature yesterday or today. But the big drop is coming on in quarter one of 2023. So that's going to be January 1st. And unfortunately, I can't spoil anything. I've been told not to spoil anything. Apparently, I did last time. I said something that I shouldn't have, and I might have gotten in trouble for that. So I'm going to be really careful this time. We want people to find this stuff out on their own. You can look at our what's it called, roadmap, and we do have a lot of features that we tease there, but we do leave some of it as a surprise because, this stuff is complicated. Coding this stuff is complicated, and when we announce that, this is coming on this day, our development team gets a little bit peeved with us, if you will. So we did add the RTMP feature, so that's really cool. We did fix some bugs. If you guys were having some issues with saving or accessing your files, that should be better. We cleaned a lot of that up. And that sort of thing. So you do have that. I believe we added some more how-to videos to our tutorials tab, so you can check those out. Right now, we're just messing around with the portrait mode. And the last one in this thing was the combination one. That's the one I didn't get to here. And that's if I had more cameras, I could have all of these cameras on screen. So think about it. You can have a podcast with up to 4 people in portrait mode on a mobile version. That's pretty cool. You look at sites like TikTok and you decide you want to blow up on TikTok. And if you look at it in terms of like scientifically, like I want to be TikTok famous. What are the videos that are performing? What do I have to do? Well, there's 2 things. You're going to see a homeless man getting beat up on a bus, on a city bus, and then getting pepper sprayed by a cop. And you're going to see that has 5 million views. And then you're going to say, okay, well, what do I need to do? Do I need to go become homeless and then, go on a city bus and try to start a fight with somebody? You're like, no, that's not going to work. What else can I do? And you see a lot of podcast clips going around on TikTok, right? People giving life advice, people giving business advice. That's huge on social media, especially on TikTok. So podcasting and stuff, instead of clipping it down into this mode, being able to make it in portrait mode on Stream Studio is a huge advantage.
Okay, so VoiceOver Radio TV is asking, tell us more about this RTMP and how to use it and why.
Okay, good question. So this is where you're able to add in the stream key, right? That's with the RTMP feature. You can click on it through there, or you can click on it through here. You have to go because we're not actually live streaming right now. So the RTMP feature, the goal of that is to be able to broadcast your production on your own platform. So a lot of what we're trying to focus on with Stream Studio is on the content creator and on monetizing content. So if you're putting content out on YouTube Live, on Facebook, on Twitch, that sort of thing is good. But ideally what you want to do is you want to have your own website that you can send people back to, right? Maybe you want to have exclusive content that's only going to be on your website. Maybe you do a podcast every other day, but you say, hey guys, don't forget Friday night, I'm having this special interview with this person, or I'm doing this special show where I'm going to tell you the secret to life, or I'm going to tell you the 5 easy ways to make $1 million. That's going to be on my exclusive show on my website on Friday. Well, how do you do things like that? Well, what you can do is you can actually, through RTMP, send your live stream production not to a social media website that everybody can see, but to your actual website. That's what RTMP gives you the advantage to do. Mark, can I bring you in on this discussion of RTMP? Mark
Sure.
is a tech professional. Go ahead, Mark.
Liam's explained it pretty well. Essentially, you're not tied down to any social media platform. If you kind of service or anything that allows you to live stream directly to your website, or maybe you have an OTT or something like that, you would use the RTMP feature to send this broadcast straight to there, and you bypass YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and all that jazz.
Exactly, because you want to. Ultimately, you want to build your own empire, right? If you're a content creator, where is your bread and butter? It's in the videos. And if somebody goes to your website and all they see is a picture of your face and a little blurb about where you're from, and they're like, okay, well, where are his videos? I want to see his videos. Oh, well, you have to go to YouTube to see his videos. Well, then what the heck am I doing on his stupid website then? Why did I even come here? Right? That's not a good way to do things. You want to actually have content on your website. You don't want to be redirecting people back to YouTube, where YouTube is making money off the ads, or back to Facebook, where Facebook is trying to be like, yeah, that guy's cool, but check out this other video, right? You want people to come to your website. So if you're going to be doing a live stream, you don't want them to only be able to see that on Twitch or on Facebook or on YouTube. You want them to be able to see it on your actual website. That's pretty freaking important if you ask me. Well, RTMP gives you the ability to do that. It gives you the ability to embed that stream key where your live stream can actually be sent to your website. So that's pretty cool. And if you have a paywall on your website, or if you have advertising on your website, well, hey man, good for you. That's something that's, ultimately that's the goal, right? That's the goal, that you're able to monetize your actual platform. If people find content that you have that's really good, you're able to charge for it. Well, that's great.
VoiceOver Radio is also saying, I know this is not easy and it might be a nightmare for your developers, but have in mind adding in a feature for a quick transition when you switch between cameras.
Yes, I agree with that, and that's something that we're definitely working on. So just a little bit of backstory on this. When we started this with the A/B combination, that was sort of like revolutionary at the time. Now, this might sound crazy to you, but we started developing this over 2 years ago. So when we started doing this with the A/B combinations, what we wanted, we were coming from a time in the pandemic where Zoom was the one who was deciding who was on screen, right? You could pin somebody's video, but you couldn't decide how you wanted to arrange them. Zoom, you could either select that you wanted to see everybody's face, or you wanted to have speaker view, and then you'd have somebody cough, and then the camera would switch to their face, and then they'd be embarrassed, right? So we were coming from a time of there, and we were obsessed with this idea of directing your own production, being the director of your production, being able to control things. And so we came up with this combinations feature, right, with the ABC and being able to switch. But then when we started to test it in the real market with actual podcasts, we noticed that it wasn't as seamless of transition when you were transitioning between, let's say, A is the main speaker, B is the guest. A says something, then B says something. It was difficult to solo each of them separately, right, and then bring them back to both of them on camera. So we sort of saw that was an issue there. So that's something that we are working on. We're working on making that more seamless. And if you use our other product, which is Live to Social, which is also on AppSumo, you can buy a lifetime subscription to Live to Social. And quickly, the main difference between the product, Stream Studio, you're directing from a computer on a website, and Live to Social, you're directing on a mobile device. Live to Social, we solved it. It's so seamless, the transitions, the way you're switching between cameras. It really feels like a switcher. That's how it operates. And that's what we're going for with Stream Studio. We're not exactly there yet, but you mentioned it's difficult. We have talked about this with our development team, and they are working on it. And it's something that we're hoping to fix.
Yeah, keep in mind that Live Social is an dedicated app for iOS and Android, so it has a lot more features in that sense, because you can actually use the power of your tablet. Whereas this is a web-based product, so these are things that we have to find solutions within how you do web development. So it's basically building an app through React or something like that. a lot of these things haven't been done before, so we're just on the cutting edge trying to figure out how to do that. So it's been on the docket, but it's hard to get.
Yeah, some people don't realize that there's no dedicated like Zoom or something. There's no dedicated app for Stream Studio. It's all through your browser, and there's advantages and disadvantages to that. The advantage is that you can go on it anywhere, that everything's going to be saved in the cloud, right? That sort of thing like that. That's really cool. But it does limit us to a certain extent with how much we can develop it, because we're doing this through actual, search engines, and that's hard. That's a challenge for our development team as well to do that, to be able to go. I have some people sometimes who have issues with Stream Studio, and I set up a meeting with them, and they're like, "Yeah, it's just not loading. The quality isn't great." And I look, and they have 1,800 tabs open. And I'm like, hey, man, your Google Chrome is struggling right now. That's the problem. Close your tabs, try again, and it'll be fine. And they do, and it's fine. Everything works well. So that's something that people forget about sometimes, just closing out your tabs and giving Chrome, just one thing to focus on, Stream Studio, and not 1,200 other things. So that's a big one. I want to give you guys a chance to ask any remaining questions. We have about 4 minutes left in this webinar. Any questions at all, and I'll be sure to answer them. If not, though, let's do this. If you have any other questions, let's add, cancel. So here we go. Let's do up and down. Any questions? Email me at studio@streen.com. Turn that on. Let's do this. Any questions? Email me at studio@streen.com. Done. Okay, and let's get rid of this.
Hey, stickers don't look half bad in portrait.
No, they look pretty good. Let's get rid of this so that you can see it. All right. That's one thing that we actually changed that in this latest update on December 14th. People were saying that the tickers were moving too fast. So we actually went in and slowed down the tickers so that they'd slow down a little bit so people actually have a chance to read.
So Voice over Radio TV, he's just trying to really grill our developers today.
What did he say?
He says he has more ideas. He doesn't want developers to hate him.
No, go.
Shoot some ideas.
Yeah, we're not the developers. We're the people who
We can't be mad at you.
No, in fact, we probably, are happy to hear the ideas. So give us the ideas. We only have a few minutes left. And I've actually gotten ideas from these webinars from actual users and relayed them to our dev team. Ask Mark. That happens all the time.
It does.
So yeah, give us ideas. This is how the product gets better, by actually talking to users and seeing what they want from the product. Sometimes the dev team, coding all day, they get a little bit removed and they're not using it as much. So this is great. This is one of the reasons why we do this. And I have an easy job. I just write up what you say and I email them and I put it on their plate. So
Resort News Network says HLS feeds.
HLS feeds. Don't we have an HLS feed with this?
Go Live. See the destinations. I thought we had one. Oh no, this is the one we took down because we needed to fix it.
Oh yeah, that's coming back though.
It's coming back. Yeah.
HLS is coming back. We did have an issue with that. One of the things people don't realize is when you create an app on a browser, you have to deal with other third-party developers.
Yeah, and we switched over to a new service, and then it kind of broke some of our existing things. So
Yeah.
we're working to get them back.
Correct. But yeah, we get to do the fun stuff. Just go live and talk. These people actually have to make this come true. Does anybody know how that stuff works? If I gave you a laptop and I said, hey, make me a multi-camera live streaming platform, you wouldn't even know where to start. I wouldn't. It's complicated stuff. People are so smart. People are so amazing. I was listening to a podcast this morning about advancements in health, and it's just, wow, these things that these scientists are doing, man.
So how about adding a background timer so the user can set for playing upcoming commercial spots? Let's say every 5 or 10 minutes, the platform switch to the commercials.
Oh, interesting.
Well, we're still working on adding, so you can add your own videos that aren't just intro and outro. So that might be a good feature once you have those videos set up.
Yeah, because you could add the commercials. Right now, the intro-outro feature, just so you know, this little plus button here, this intro-outro, that's limited at 2 minutes. You can't add more than 2 minutes. So that we're looking to expand so people can add longer. Now, we don't want to expand it to like 2 hours because that would end up on our servers and that would kind of clog up the gears. But we are going to expand it to a point where maybe you can output. Well, commercial would never be more than 2 minutes. I do like the idea of the on-screen timer. Let's write that down.
Yeah, and maybe even only you can see it as the director, just to give you a good indicator.
Right. Yeah, to know how long you've been on with your guest and that sort of thing. Any final comments? We're out of time here. 12:30. We got to get out of here.
Well, if you do have any other questions or comments, be sure to ask at stream.studio, and we will get back to you at a reasonable time.
Yeah, send me an email at stream.studio. I sometimes go in and I look at those emails. So send me one, and if it's from the webinar, maybe put that in the description and the subject so that I know. And I'll read all of your comments. I'll answer each one of them, and I'll get those relayed back to our development team. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us. We will be back in another week, and we're going to be talking about maybe 2 weeks, and we're going to be talking about live to social. And we're going to talk about live to social. We're going to talk about that amazing product, and that is also still available on AppSumo. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you next time.